You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Hell's Kitchen After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Hell's Kitchen After Show.
You know it. Here we go. Is that me pre-recorded?
That was.
That surprised me. I was not expecting the ghost of Leo. Welcome to the #1 Hell's Kitchen After Show. This is where you want to be if you want to know all things Hell's Kitchen. My name is Leo Quinones. I'm a fan of Hell's Kitchen. When Gordon screams, I don't know. I love it. Get out! 2 of my favorite words I'll ever hear. And you know who got out tonight? Gabriel. Gabriel is gone. What other headlines happened tonight? Well, this is season 12. 7 chefs compete. Part 2. Joy earns the first black jacket. And Scott Commings gets in the face of Gordon Ramsay. Now, that was an amazing moment. And to get to the bottom of all this, with only 6 chefs left, they all got black jackets. Okay, so black jackets include Jason, Melanie, Joy, Keisha, Rochelle, and the guy on the phone right now from Woodstock, Illinois, Hell's Kitchen Season 12 finalist, the proud owner of a black jacket. Congratulations, Scott Commings, buddy.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me.
Going back to that, well, let's just go from the beginning. Did you think that you were gone for 2 seconds there? Out.
There's been several episodes where I thought I was gone, and this was just another one of them.
Because didn't he say, if I remember correctly, Scott, he said, take off your jacket.
He did say that.
And then you're like, okay, you know, I had a good run. What was going through your mind in that second?
You know what? We've been put through, you know, as you know, participants in the show, we've been put through so much. Like it was always building up to this could be your last day, and so we really I thought it was mine. I thought it was my very last day on the show.
What a completely exciting episode. Let's go right from the beginning, okay?
Yeah.
One thing I'm seeing about you, and one thing I'm liking about you, Scott, is even though you're competing.
I appreciate you say that you're liking about me.
Well, yeah, I have to preface this because even though it's a cutthroat competition inside Hell's Kitchen, and someone is going to win $250,000, when you see people in distress in the dorms, you are the person I see over and over again who's trying to comfort and trying to settle nerves and trying to get people through it. Why is that, Scott? Because it's a great quality.
Well, I really care about people. You know, I care about the individual I'm working for. I care about, you know, everything that's going on. And at the end of the day, we all have to work together. And it's not a fun scenario. I mean, you know, everybody might think it's glitz and glamour and, you know, and it's all, you know, a stage, whatever else. But when dining service comes, that's it. Like it's the time to go to work. And there doesn't make sense of any cameras, nothing else matters except for getting whatever needs to be done, done. And so at the end of the day, when people are suffering and people are, you know, in need, I have to work with them tomorrow. And I don't mind being, you know, there if I can and you know, to be there to kind of help through.
Do you think that's a leadership quality?
I don't know if it's a leadership quality. I don't really look at it like that. You know, I just want to, you know, work with everybody and you know, it's just kind of the way things are.
All right. Well, let's go back a little bit. how did you get onto season 12 of Hell's Kitchen? How did it come about?
So season 12 happened. I got a call out of the blue. I'd done some other stuff in the past, and just got a call out of the blue and said, "Hey, do you want to?" We're having open casting calls for this and that, and I'm like, "Are you interested?" And I'm like, "Well, no, not really." And they said, "Well, why don't you come to an open casting call? Why don't you be part of this?" And I said, "Wow, all right, well, I'll try it out, And so I did an open casting call and got a call back after a couple weeks, and then another call back, and so they wanted me for the show. So I was, I kind of just, looked at it like, all right, I guess this is what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't something I was pressing for. It wasn't something I was looking to do, but this is an opportunity that I just kind of took on.
Right on. Well, again, a couple general Hell's Kitchen questions. You are the last holdout, Scott Commings. You're the last one. We've had everybody.
What do you mean by that? Last holdout? What does that even mean?
I don't know. Let me try and break it down. We've had 20 people on the show, and you were the last person that we had the luxury of having on our show. So thanks. I mean, I don't know how because I was like, I got to get Scott on the show. And we worked it out with Fox. And now that you're here, let's talk about, you're not even on the blue team. So is that just weird?
At first it was definitely weird, but just not being on the blue team and being switched over to the red team, you kind of had to, kind of face some adversity to, just kind of being the quiet guy and being like, all right, well, let's figure out this kitchen, because you have to remember there's two separate kitchens, and so just trying to go through the motions of, it's a whole brand new kitchen. So I always say that every day in Hell's Kitchen you wake up, it's like your first day on a new job. It's the first day you've ever been at a job. So your first new job, that's today, and that happened over and over and over again. So to be switched over to a new team, yeah, it's horrible, because you think your day's going like this. You think your day's going like this, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be switched over is a crazy situation.
Same thing happened to Anton Testino. Ultimately, that's where he met his demise, blaming it on the oven. Now, should you blame it on the oven, or should you blame it on the chef? What's your view?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Anton also switched to the red team. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
He met his demise on the red team. He blamed the oven, or all those wellies were overcooked. Do you blame the oven, or do you blame the chef? What's your point of view? What's your take on it?
Well, you never ever blame your product, by a piece of equipment, and I think that kind of showcased in about the 6th episode of the season when the whole pizza competition came in.
Right.
And it was a lot of it was my fault, and the pizza oven was working properly and we couldn't get it down, and you can never ever blame it on the equipment. You always have to blame it on how to adapt to a situation. And so whether that was the case, you have to be able to overcome and move forward. There's no other way to go.
Millions of people across the country saw Gordon get in your face today. You had some problems with some salmon. It was dragging. I think you torched Mini Driver's dinner. Is that correct, Scott? I think you did.
I did. And I put a Twitter post on that I actually, formally apologized to Miss Driver and let her know that I really, really am apologize for torching her salmon. But
Scott,
any opportunity I have to ever serve her again, that's the last thing she'll have to wait for is food.
Okay, look, you're an executive chef. You do what you do so well. What is it about the combination of things happening in Hell's Kitchen that makes you screw up a piece of salmon, which I would think is there's a technique to it and you have to get it right, but it seems like Hell's Kitchen sometimes turns you on your ear. How do you explain it?
Well, what people don't understand is that, we in Hell's Kitchen you work on what's called the brigade system, and the brigade system is based on communication and working off of other people to create entrees. Mm-hmm. And it's something a lot different than most kitchens in the United States don't work on. So most of us has not been trained in that kind of aspect of, so for all of us coming on there, all the contestants, 20 contestants that have been there, it's an entirely different way to work than what we're used to. And then also, bring on, Chef Ramsay's, level of expectation and level of excellence into that, trying to learn a new system, and that it becomes an incredibly difficult situation.
So you send food and you're not sure about it. What's that like in Hell's Kitchen?
Every time you send food, you're not sure. That's how it goes. Every time you send food, you're not sure that you did exactly right. and so the biggest thing, you're always waiting for the call up. You're always waiting for,
come here, all of you, all of you.
Scott, get up here. You're waiting for all that stuff, and you're like, dude, if you don't get the call, and most of the time, and most people in the business will understand that no news is usually good news. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how we live. No news is usually good news. And once you get that call, and then he turns you off. He's like, Scott, get up here. It's perfect. Or, he does all that stuff too, so it's leaving you on your toes constantly.
So, two sides of the coin. Tell me what it's like to experience Gordon calling you up and complimenting your food. Let's start with that one.
You know what? In Hell's Kitchen, that's a wonderful experience, and they're very, very few and far between that you actually get that. But when you get that, it's fantastic, but it lasts about a millisecond, mm-hmm. because there's so much other things going on that you've got to get back to in order to make the rest of the service possible. You can't dwell on that. You don't dwell on compliments, and you have to just keep pushing forward. One compliment today or one compliment this second can mean, blasting you the next.
Right.
So you really have to, stay on top of every single aspect of what you're doing, even if he calls you away from your station for a second, mm-hmm. and really it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Speaking of hard, as a TV viewer, I would be petrified if I was standing in your shoes listening to the rapid pace of Gordon Ramsay calling out his tickets. It's so lightning fast. I don't think he can talk any faster if he tried. And then you've got multiple tickets going. So take us there in the heat of battle when Gordon is rapid firing those tickets. What's that like?
When he rapid fires the tickets, you also understand that he can also rapid fire those off in probably 3 different languages. At the same speed. So you just have to learn to just keep up. If you're not going to keep up, then you're not going to. And but he can also rapid fire those tickets in French, and so there's no difference. You just have to learn to accept it and go forward.
All right, let's get into tonight's episode. Yeah. I would say your face and Gordon Ramsay's face were no more than 6 inches apart. And, I mean, you're standing up. He's a little bit taller than you, right? And you're looking up at him, and you're not backing down, but you're being respectful. Take us to that. And it seems like you're just towing the line, Scott. You're almost right there about to get your head chewed off. But tell us about that exact moment in your life with Gordon Ramsay.
I tell you, when Gordon Ramsay steps up to you like that and busts you down for what you did, there's a reason he's there to begin with, and you brought him there. So you kind of have to bow down to every aspect of what's going on and try to take everything in that he's saying as quick as it is, and try to learn from every piece of that. There's no other way to go about it. I mean, you can't keep busting yourself about it, because you have to understand that there's so much more going on, with just this one service today. you have to keep moving forward. And so, sure, just sit there and take it and then say, exactly, yes, chef, yes, chef, yes, chef, and then make it happen. That's all you can do.
But
and he's completely right on all aspects. He's, a chef is always right, no matter what. If he says it doesn't come out exactly right, then it didn't come out exactly right, and you need to make that happen the very next time. And that's just how it goes.
let's talk about you and Gabriel. He was on the blue team having trouble with fish. The announcer said floundering the fish. You were in the red team, floundering the fish. Gordon took you guys for a set-aside. Now, I imagine you forget there's cameras in like the storage room. And tell me about being in there, about that conversation with Gordon. Did it last longer? What was it like in that back room when you were getting your ass handed to you?
Well, when Gordon pulls you in the back room, it's never a good situation.
Right.
So, I don't remember the exact contents. It was loud in the area that I was in to actually hear that conversation because
you're watching at a bar.
There's so much that happened. There's so much that happened in Hell's Kitchen that I have no idea exactly what happened during that mindset. But it's all about you get out of there, you take your beating, and you go and make it right. Mm-hmm. That's all you can do.
Who is your biggest threat of the other 5 black jacket possessors?
Who's my biggest threat?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. During that time, Jason's got a huge voice, and Jason's got a very, very huge presence in the kitchen, as in general. And I would probably say at that point he's probably. But then there's Joy as well. Joy is solid, mm-hmm. And incredible individual. I would say that Jason, Joy, Melanie, also fantastic. Mm-hmm. All of them are incredible individuals. So, I'm lucky to be in that presence of those people because they're really doing great things, and they're awesome individuals.
Okay, let's talk about your little aside with Chef Andy. You pulled her aside, and was that a longer conversation, or was that pretty much the beginning, the middle, and the end?
Yeah, I think it was pretty much the beginning, middle, and end. I don't recall exactly, but it was just a moment to pull her aside and to say, how can you handle this? What do you do when this happens? And so I was really thankful to even have 10 seconds of her time, to be able to express my my anxieties and kind of see how someone that's been working and so successful with Chef, to understand what she does and the incredible work that she does for him. I was able to be part of that.
Did you have any clue that Gabriel was gone?
What's that?
Did you have any clue during dinner service in tonight's episode that Gabriel was gone?
No, I didn't have any clue whatsoever.
Yeah, because you're doing your own thing, right? You're on the other side.
You're right.
So how did you hear about it?
I think I just heard about it directly after the service. Was how I heard about it, because I wasn't working, of course, with Gabriel next to him, but really, just kind of heard about it afterwards. I didn't hear about it any other way.
What was your reaction?
I don't recall. My reaction, I guess, at this point in the show, we had all been, kind of understand that it's anybody's game at any point in time, mm-hmm. and we've kind of got to that point where it doesn't matter what goes on. from here on forward, we're all here. And as long as we're all here, that's all we care about. If there's one less, then we work with that. And so there wasn't any kind of thought process further with him being gone.
With Gabriel gone, did you get a better night's sleep?
There are no good night's sleep in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, I heard that
You don't ever sleep. You don't ever sleep well. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's 20 there or 5. You never get good sleep.
Why is that?
Well, because your mind is always how you can do tomorrow. It's not about what you did today. It's about how you can do tomorrow and what is coming up, because nobody knows. Like I said, I mean, Hell's Kitchen is like every day is a brand new job. It's your first day on a new job every single day that you walk in there, and so it's not an easy situation to adapt to. So you just kind of wonder yourself, to sleep of like how I'm going to deal with tomorrow, and you go from there.
It's coming off this season like you're one of the most respectful people up in the dorms. You don't engage in some of the other smack talk the way others do. And it seems to me it's coming off almost like an ego scout. And I'm not saying that as a derogatory statement, Scott. I'm saying it's coming across classy. Is that just who you are?
Yeah, I don't know any, I don't know any way else to be, if somebody's down on our team, it's time to try to pick them up. If it's, whatever the case is. We all decided to do this, on a whim and able to have this experience, this incredible experience. So, we don't, I don't think that most of us look at, that in the same way. We're all here together. We pick each other up in different parts, and we smack talk to those ones that are going down, whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, we still have a job to do, and that's all we can do.
What was the worst punishment in Hell's Kitchen so far? What was the best reward in Hell's Kitchen so far?
All right, so okay, easy. The worst punishment was tornaying like 400 pounds of potatoes. That was easy. Everybody says the pennies were the worst.
Yeah.
No way.
What? Tell me about that day. Tell me about that day.
Dude, which one? The pennies or the
potatoes? The potatoes, you said?
The potatoes. Yeah, tornaying potatoes, which is, Chef knows 7-side potatoes, and they're beautiful potatoes that we had come in. But that was definitely the worst.
All right.
The worst scenario possible.
And then the best.
Best reward. Best reward would have to be.
What were some of the adventures that you went on so far that you remember?
Well, I don't know. I was on a blue team for so long that there was very little. But So one of the best ones I think we went to did the skydiving thing.
Yeah.
Did the skydiving and got to hang out with the guys, and we did that. The blue team together, and got to watch Jean-Philippe mess his hair up in the in the skydiving tube. And that was probably the coolest adventure thus far.
All right. Well, listen. You were sequestered for, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks. What was sequestration like for you?
You mean to get on the show?
To not be able to communicate with anybody outside the show, to be kind of Hell's Kitchen prisoner.
It was Hell's Kitchen is one thing to try to adapt that to your situation, but I've got a family and 2 young children, and so to have to completely cut out communication, et cetera, was an incredibly hard part of the show, to try to explain that this is what's exactly going to happen, and I have to get away, but it was awful. That in tune, with everything else going on, all the craziness every day, every day being crazy day in Hell's Kitchen, but not to be able to take time just to pick up a phone and call home. That's an awful situation for anybody to be in. I don't care what genre they're in. I don't care what position they're in or environment they're in. But that's a really, really hard situation to be in.
Did you have a low point that you can recall inside Hell's Kitchen?
I don't really think I had a low point, but I had a high point when
you won the 250,000. When you won the 250,000. When you won 250 grand. Hello?
Yeah, right.
I'm just trying to force something out. That's all.
Yeah, right. No. But the high point was to be able to get pictures of my kids and family. That was huge. To actually have them by my side and understand why you're doing this, and but I got to tell you, this is the staff and everybody else that did everything for us as individuals on the show. They worked twice as hard, just working with everybody, and making sure that everything's okay, and that's all the information you got was everything's good. So it was an incredible operation. I can't even imagine what goes into something like this, and I was just one of those ones that were able to be part of that. So I'm a lucky individual.
Are you amazed at all the footage the 75 cameras inside of Hell's Kitchen picked up on?
I'm amazed at what they, I'm amazed at every single part of it, and every time you see a show, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was there, whatever the case is, but really incredible stuff, and the way they put it together, and I mean it's an art piece. It's unbelievable.
How has Gordon Ramsay made you, Scott, a better chef?
You know what? How can you not? To be in the presence in that room, just in one single room with that man for a short period of time and see him work is a lesson enough. Just to see him demonstrate something, how to do something, and you say, oh my gosh, we've been doing this for years, but never thought of that. But he's truly a master, and he does it in an art form. The way he moves, the way he understands, the way he listens, the way he, the way he presents his kitchen. It's truly amazing. So I was lucky enough to be part of that, so I'm thrilled that I was able to even participate.
Was there anyone that you were particularly sorry that they got sent home, made friends during your time in Hell's Kitchen?
You know what? I'd like to say we were all a very, very tight group. Once we got there, I was sad to see Garam go home the first night. But
Garam, yeah.
Because I think that. Hey, you guys all remember Garam?
They all do it. It.
You remember Garam?
with the little with the dipping his fingers in the pot. Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah.
I was sad to see him go. Just because I think he had a lot more to offer. It was just an unfortunate situation, but. And in time, that's how it goes. But sad to see him go. Of course, we were all such a tight knit group that we made friends when we went along, and no matter what any of us said about individuals, behind the scenes or whatever, and really, we all worked hard together.
Right.
And there's really, really great individuals in that group.
Right on.
Really great individuals.
So, what was your strategy inside the confessional for Hell's Kitchen?
You know what? I never had a strategy. Never once did I have a strategy going into any situation.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, it was just that hard. I never had a strategy.
Wow. So, what was it like for you in the confessional?
I don't think it was. It's definitely weird, You're talking to the camera, et cetera. But it was just being you. There was nothing weird about it,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Congratulations on the black jacket. I want to talk for 1 minute about.
I got a black jacket.
You got a black. Doesn't it feel great?
You know what? Of course it does.
Well,
yeah.
You know what?
So every week we go to a local bar in town, and we have a great group of people come and follow, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. So I'm glad it keeps going on. People are having so much fun with it, and the bar exploded tonight when I got the black jacket. When I thought I was going home.
Oh.
But really. Really incredible.
Damn it, Gordon! Scared the crap out of me. I thought he said, "Scott, take your jacket. You're on.
Yeah.
Your time is done." He's getting really good at that deception piece right there.
He's really good. Yeah, and in many aspects, not just that.
You know what? I did some research on you, Scott, and I saw you in Woodstock at the farmers market, talking to people publicly and educating them about sustainability and food.
Yeah.
And I consider you to be the sustainable chef. Can you talk about that for a minute and why you're so passionate about being a sustainable chef?
Well, it's not so much of a passion. So it's more like this is how we should go about things. And it's about, grabbing great ingredients when you can and preserving ingredients when you can. So right now I've got a wonderful opportunity to work where I am at Loyola at the university, and we have about a 4-acre garden on the property, which includes a greenhouse, etc. So we're able to grow incredible products.
Like what?
Everything from tomatoes to kales to squashes to onion, stuff that we preserve over the winter and do all that. So we're able to grow everything we can possible, and then also to bring that down to our we have a separate processing kitchen. We're able to actually take those ingredients and work them into workable products. So we can preserve them. All of our kales and spinaches we can braise and freeze. We can take all of our tomatoes that are abundant in season and make tomato sauces and freeze that in order to have fresh tomatoes all the way through the season that you don't normally get. So, to be sustainable is a little tough. It's a tough word to have these days because everything is not sustainable. But we're doing our best to grab ingredients when they're in season and doing what we can with them, and really trying to adapt that into the setting where we are. So people can come in and kind of learn from that. They can kind of understand that and see a cycle of food, where food is picked from, where food goes to, how it's done, and set up sort of a mini cycle, a food cycle where we are. So we're lucky to have that.
Isn't it sad that millions and millions of Americans don't eat fresh and they eat processed? Everything's processed.
I had incredible story. I had a gal come out from Chicago, and she came out, and I was in the garden, and we ended up digging up potatoes, and she actually looked at me and she said, I forgot that potatoes came out of the ground, because she's so used to seeing them on shelves. Like how to understand where your food actually comes from is so much more meaningful, to who we are. And so to put together, a food system that works and a food system that's semi-sustainable that we can work from and do what we can when we can, it's so important. And the greatest thing, every chef can do these wonderful things, but if you're not using these incredible ingredients, that are coming when they're in season, it really takes the fun out of it.
Right on. What's your inspiration and what puts the fire in your belly to do this competition, Hell's Kitchen?
I guess just to learn about myself, like to understand, who I am and where I stand, type of thing. There's always that. There's always that aspect of things. The understanding that you're just going to go and learn as much as you can when you can. And this was an opportunity to just learn and to sit back and learn and learn. You end up learning in a situation like this. Learning so much more about yourself than you do actually the cooking aspect. Yeah, we can cook, but learning about the importance of organization, the importance of using great ingredients, the importance of how to set your standards. What are your standards? Are they Chef Ramsay standards? Okay, well now I understand those standards. So it's like how to take you through that whole system of these are the standards and they shouldn't be flawed. And understanding that it's there for a reason. And so it's a really, really incredible experience. All
right. I have a check. Let's say I have a check in my hand, and I'm going to hand you, Scott, for $250,000.
All right. Go ahead. Just sign it over. Sign it. Yeah.
Hear that? That's a check for $250,000, $250 large. What would you do?
The garbage? Was that crumbled up in the garbage?
I'm putting on the microphone because I'm trying to whet your appetite. What would you do
what it is?
if I handed you this envelope, this check for $250,000? What would you do with it?
What would I do with it?
Yeah.
Well. I mean, us chefs, don't normally get, paid, an exorbitant amount of money on a normal basis. So, so some of that would go towards, paying down debt, et cetera, and another piece we put aside to, look to a possible opportunity, whatever that means.
Do you see yourself as a restaurant owner someday?
It will definitely happen. Whether it's tomorrow or whether it's this 5 years from now. I don't know what that time is. But there's definitely that.
Well, I'm waiting for that day, and when it is, I'll fly out there and I'll definitely book a reservation. So
great, man. Thank you so much.
A food related question, Scott. Have you seen the movie Chef?
You know what? I haven't.
Is it not? It's not a lot of theaters.
I live out here in Woodstock, Illinois. And so I haven't had the opportunity for to come yet because we got to travel a little bit to get to it because it's more of a, it seems like it's more of a cult film. So it's not played everywhere.
You know what? It's not. It's a little indie film that Jon Favreau did, and I'm going to tell you.
Dude, it's not a little indie film. It is like an incredible movie.
Yeah.
That I've heard from everyone.
You're going to love it.
That I really cannot wait to have the opportunity to see.
You're gonna relish in this movie, and to get you ready for it, you got to check out my interview with Jon Favreau.
No way.
It's an hour long. Just go to movieinterview.com. That's movieinterview.com. It's 62 minutes. It talks about his training, him working with Roy Choi, and he shoots food the way Michael Bay shoots bikinis. So
awesome.
The food is great, and it's definite food porn. So listen, if I were going to find you on Twitter, it's fork and what is it?
Number two, MOUTH, mouth.
Give it to me again.
Fork to mouth, FORK.
Yeah.
The number 2, MOUTH.
Twitter handle for Scott Commings is Fork to mouth, and that makes total sense. Hey, listen, man, this is the night that you got the black jacket, and this is the night that you shared it with all the Hell's Kitchen fans on our after show.
Right.
And I just want to say thank you, buddy. I know it's late, and I know you have to get up early, but again, I think you're a classy competitor, and you stand up straight even when you're getting dressed down. And I just wish you nothing but the best in this season 12 of Hell's Kitchen, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to come on the show.
What would you
really appreciate it.
What would you like to say to the Hell's Kitchen fans that are watching the after show right now?
You know what? Watching the Hell's Kitchen episode right now, it's just wait till next week.
It looks intense, man. You got to come back, right? We're going to have Melanie in studio. She's on the West Coast. Rochelle's on the West Coast. And, maybe we'll get you on the phone and we'll do a group discussion again, okay?
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, they're such wonderful people, I mean, Melanie, Rochelle, incredible individuals. So, yeah, can't wait.
All right,
can't
buddy.
wait. Hope we do it soon.
All right, God bless. Thanks a lot, Scott. We really appreciate it. I see you, buddy.
When something good happens to me.
What a great guy, Scott Commings, again, a tough competitor. So there you have it. 6 black jackets. I don't think I've ever seen 6 black jackets before, but again, very, very cool. We'll see who's going to go. We got Jason, Melanie, Joy, Keisha, Rochelle, and Scott. Scott, thank you. You can check me out on Twitter, 2 words, @movieinterview, @movieinterview. Maria Menounos' book, The Every Girl's Guide to Fitness. Gotta get it. Diet and fitness, it's important. It's a summer. I'm Leo Quinones. I'll see you next week for Hell's Kitchen After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. Thank you, producer Steve. Have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.